Now remember, this MP3 is James Earl Ray's brother being interviewed by the police about his brother and the assassination. So let's get into this.
Jerry, when did you last see your brother?
4 years ago.
What did he say to you then? What did you say to him? Where was it?
He was in Missouri prison. Just ordinary talk.
You were visiting him?
Visiting.
Had he tried to escape at that time? Had he made one of his attempts?
He maybe 6 months before.
So this is an attempt. He's
Did
talking
he feel
about
it
the
was
attempt.
hopeless, that he'd have to escape in order to get out?
Jail.
Oh, he seemed in pretty good spirits. He didn't seem hopeless, but he didn't talk too much to me about escaping again.
Did he ever talk to you about Martin Luther King?
No, he never did mention his name to me.
In your whole life together, he's never mentioned him?
Never one time. Of course, we haven't been around each other that much.
Did he ever talk to you about Negroes?
No, he never did say anything about it.
Do you know whether he had any feelings about civil rights or...
No, he never did discuss, he had other things to talk about. He never did discuss civil rights. Down where he was at, they're segregated anyway, so he didn't come in contact with them.
Do you know whether he had any strong feelings about integration or anything?
If he did, he never did say anything about it.
What did he talk about?
Oh, I only seen him 4 times while he was down there, and he, about how things was outside, and what was I doing, and if I was going to get married, and this and that.
From what you know, Jerry, do you think that he is involved in King's killing?
I don't think he did it, and nobody else does, but it's hard to say just what the story is.
But they have his fingerprints on the gun.
Yeah, but they can't prove that gun is his, though. They said the bullet shattered, and they can't prove the bullet came on the gun, but then they say his fingerprints was on the gun, though.
But you don't think he's involved?
I don't think he was involved. I think he was used as he was used some way in it, though. I think that because, you know, of the money he spent and all that. I think his name was used, and because he couldn't turn himself in, he had so much time to do in Missouri, and I think he was implicated some way, more likely used.
Are you saying that someone paid him to pretend to be King's murderer?
Well, they had 2 Eric Starville Galts within about 2 miles of each other, and they all the time, every time he goes someplace, they have another guy like him, and seems kind of strange.
Wow.
Where do you think he got all this money?
That's a question I can't answer. I've thought of it a lot of times, but I can't come up with it either.
Where was he going to go from London, Jerry?
The reports is South Africa,
Why?
because there's no extradition laws there.
If your brother has been used by somebody, as you think, would he ever implicate those people?
No, he'll never implicate him. He'll die with that on his, with that secret. Only he'll know it. Even I won't know it.
But he might be convicted for murder.
Well, he'll still, when it comes out, just one man will be tried for it. He'll be tried for it, and there won't be nobody else implicated, because whoever's in on it, if anybody was in on it, then that'll, like the inmate down Jefferson City that served time with him, said he'll take it to his deathbed, and he will.
Because he's afraid?
No, he's not afraid of nobody. He never was afraid of nobody. But that's just the way he is.
You mean he feels it's honorable not to tell?
Yes, that's the way a lot of people feel. And a lot of people don't feel that way, and a lot of people do. And that's the way he feels, and his friends, the people his steady friends.
So you feel that he's innocent, but he's been used, but he's willing to be convicted of murder.
If they can get enough proof to prove that he murdered him, it's going to be hard for him to prove it because the gun, I don't see how they can use it because he said they can't tell if the bullet was the one come from the gun that was dropped with his fingerprints on it. And then they're going to have more evidence than that to prove that he's guilty or to prove that he was implicated in it.
Do you think he's the kind of man who could pull a trigger and shoot somebody?
He never did show no action towards that before. He never did. You take a person that could shoot a guy. He was convicted of armed robbery. Every time he was convicted, he never, pistol whipped nobody or slapped him around. He just took the money and that was it. And if a guy was a type of guy with murdering people and the saddest, when they get through robbing a person, and they beat on them and that.
Now it's crazy to think. I'm just gonna talk for a second. It's crazy to think that this is his brother, and they had this tape out there. That is, but it sounds like to me so far what we're looking at is that he didn't think that this was his brother, and he didn't think his brother was capable of it. But at the end of the day, we'll be surprised at what people can be capable of. I bet everyone who knows someone who ever heard about some of these, like just their people that they know in their family committing some crazy things, a lot of people say the same thing. Some people know, yeah, I can see it happening, but some people, yeah, no, I can't see. Like mothers love to say that. I will say that mothers love to say, "Oh, my son can never do this." That's just not the type of person he is. But you never know. Sometimes people are wrong about the people in their family. But let's keep going into this, and got about another 6 minutes left.
He never did show no signs of that before.
All he was interested in was the money.
Just the money, that's it.
You think that's the case this time too?
I don't know.
So he doesn't know where
he was
all that
used
money
or
from.
how it was. Nobody will probably ever know about it.
I'm assuming the money he's talking about, the money to get out of state, go into a different country. Out of state, out of the country.
Well, he's fighting extradition now. Do you think that he will be extradited or that he will win?
Oh, he'll be extradited. There's no doubt about that because they'll extradite him. They have to pack him across. They'll go over and take McMillan out. No, they'll extradite him. There's no doubt about that.
What will you do if he's extradited?
Go to Memphis, wherever, because that's where they'll take him.
Do you think he'll tell you the truth?
I kind of doubt it. I kind of doubt if he'll tell anybody else. If he definitely didn't do it, he'll tell me that, but he won't tell me, the other things, how come he was used or what. But he'll tell me if he did it or didn't do it. But he won't implicate nobody else or nothing like that.
What kind of man is your brother? Describe him.
I tell you, but to be honest, I don't know him too much because the only time I seen him was when I visited him.
So
except the last time that I seen him, when he was out, was in 1952. That was only 52. That was about 16 years. I was.
1952.
About 16 years old or something like that. I'm 32 now. I'm hard on figuring.
Kind of personality?
Oh, he's quiet.
So this is like in the 70s.
Guy, he don't bother nobody. Minds his own business.
How did he begin getting in trouble then?
I don't know much about that because when he got in trouble, that I wasn't around. I was just a kid when he started that, and I was just 15 or 16 years old last time I seen him. When he was out.
Why do you think he started taking that route instead of working and so on?
But to be perfectly honest, I wouldn't know. I guess it's just one person thinks different than the other. You thought that was easier than working, I guess.
But as far as you know, he had no strong feeling one way or another about Martin Luther King or civil rights or Negroes?
No, I've talked to him. I've been down to see him 4 times, and plus the other times I've seen him. And he never did mention them. And down in Missouri, where he was at, you don't even come in contact with them because they're in one place, you're in another place. That's segregated. And so he couldn't get no hostile feelings down there towards them because they don't come together.
Do you think that if he would do armed robbery for money, do you think that he would actually kill somebody for money?
That's a good question. Hold on. That's a good question.
The only way he would if his life was at stake himself. That's the only way he would ever do something like that. If he had to kill him to keep alive, or if he was, the pressure would have to be awful great, and still I doubt if he would.
Could the pressure have been very great and applied to him in the case of Dr. King?
We're out, Sherry.
What?
Both of us are. Yeah.
I'd like to ask a couple more questions. So, Jerry, your whole theory is that your brother was paid to implicate
Why they was getting ready to stop it.
Well,
He was
explain
Sound
it.
like.
I figure he was paid for his name being used, and that's as far as I think he was involved in it. And I think it'll prove. I think he'll probably get off though. I think it'll prove he's innocent, because I don't think he'll be framed for it. But
Why?
I don't think they'll ever find out whoever did it.
Why would he ever take this risk?
He must have been in desperation, or his life was at stake, one or the other.
Who are these people who paid him?
That's a good question.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know none of them. I wouldn't even have any idea. But they,
What kind of people do you think they are?
probably some rich Southerner, probably that. You mean paid for get the guy murdered? Probably some rich Southern guy. Because they had reports out, read different reports and that, and they claimed that they had a bounty on his life. So I imagine he must have run into somebody, or when he escaped, somebody knew that he was hot, and he just took advantage of that point.
How do you think they would know they could trust him not to name them?
Well, all you have to do is just check, back on the guy's record. And a millionaire, they got thousands of ways to check him. And they had him all checked out before they used him probably.
So if he was used,
But everything you believe
they
just from knowing
had an
your
idea
brother.
that he wouldn't tell at all. He was just
I
that
know,
type of
but
person.
from talking to him and from what time I have been around him and that, because he always relied on me. I wrote to him every other week, and he needed money, I sent him money down. He needed favors, or if I needed favors, or
But you have not talked to him since the King assassination.
no, I haven't talked to him since then. I won't talk to him until
All
he gets
this is
Memphis.
from before he was actually convicted
Will you
in the
ask
courts
him what happened?
Naturally, I'll ask him.
or pled
What
guilty.
do you think he'll say?
Yeah, I think he'll tell me.
You think he will tell you the truth?
Yeah, I think he'll tell me. I don't think he'll tell me who paid him to use his name or nothing like that, but I mean, he'll tell me if he had anything to do with it, or if he was completely innocent and he just run because he didn't want to do 18 years.
All right, one last question. You are convinced that even if he is convicted of murder, he will never reveal anybody's name?
No, like the inmate said it was with him down there, that he'll take that to his deathbed.
Okay, thanks. That's it.
Going to jail for somebody. If that was how it is, Jesus. Now that is crazy. Now hold on, we gotta look, because if you don't know, let's see, Jen. So let's go over into his sentence of James Earl Ray. So the assassin, he was sentenced to 99 years in prison after pleading guilty to his crimes. He initially confessed to the murder, but later recanted his claims, and there was a conspiracy. Ray's sentence did not include parole eligibility for the first half of the term. He also attempted to escape prison twice, including an escape in the Bush Mountain State Penitentiary in 1977. So on March 10th, 1969, Ray pled guilty to the murder of Dr. King and was sentenced to 99 years in prison as per the Shelby County Criminal Court in Tennessee. Ray later reversed his guilty plea and maintained his innocence, claiming that he was not the sole perpetrator, and that there was a conspiracy. No parole eligibility. The sentence of 99 years would not be eligible for parole until serving at least 49.5 years. Ray attempted to escape from prison, included one in 1967 from the Missouri prison while serving for another offense, and another in 1977 in the Bush Mountain State Penitentiary. Yeah. James Earl Ray ultimately died in prison in 1998 while still serving his sentence for the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. Wow. That is, wow, so much information. And this was the sole audio file that was released out of 6,301 PDFs and one MP3 file from his brother, just basically telling him how he felt about it. That is crazy. All right, everybody, remember this is AC Reviews the Word. Remember to like and subscribe.